On the left, we have the second picture of the Santa Cruz Bigfoot, and on the right, we have the first one, which we haven't discussed yet. Just to cover a little ground on the second picture, which is more of a close-up of the side view. And by the way, these pictures, like I've mentioned before, were taken from a distance, and we've cropped them just to focus in on the Sasquatch. We talked about the brow ridge in another episode. I want to also address prognathicism in the mouth area. It's hard to tell whether it has that or not, or it actually has more of a chin, because it does have facial hair, and sometimes facial hair compensates for a chin. Sometimes people with a weak chin grow facial hair. So you can't really even tell if it has a chin. It appears to, but that's, could be to a degree the facial hair. It could have a chin similar to a Neanderthal for all we can tell. And I want to go back to this new photo that I'm introducing. It's the back view, and you see it appears to be a back view. You see a sagittal crest and an arm down its right side. I shouldn't really say it's a sagittal crest. It could be just a tuft of hair, and I mean, it likely is. It's hard to say. The creature doesn't seem to have extreme jaw structure, but we can't even tell in these photos. And if it did, that would explain the sagittal crest, because the sagittal crest would anchor the strong masseter chewing muscles. But we don't know that from the photos we've seen now. It could be just a tuft of hair. And if you look at the Patterson film, it has that same thing. It has a tuft of hair in the back. Or it could be a small sagittal crest. It's hard to say. But in the news very recently, they retrieved a DNA from a hominid fossil that was 400,000 years old. And the previous hominid fossil they retrieved DNA from was 100,000 years ago, and that was a Neanderthal. And they were expecting this to be from a Neanderthal. It was a thigh bone found in Spain, and it turns out that it was more closely related to the Denisovian, which is a new species that's been in the news lately. And it has Denisovian characteristics, but there's speculation on whether it's a common ancestor to Neanderthal and Denisovian that predated both of those. There's even speculation by a DNA expert at the University of California, Santa Cruz, coincidentally, who is just theorizes it could be from a species of Homo erectus, which originated about 1.8 million years ago. And then that became extinct within the last few 100,000 years. With the discoveries in Indonesia and Denisovians and new research on Neanderthals, scientists are learning that hominid history is a lot more complicated than they thought. There obviously are more branches of humans than we previously were aware of.